Welcome to today's webinar, Dominate Your Service Areas on the Web, How to Get More Leads, Reviews, and Customers. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. This is Jennifer Clark. I'm a marketing manager at Surefire Social, and today's presenter is Beth Overman, a Surefire Social customer success manager. I think I can safely assume that most of you on the webinar today are implementing some kind of online marketing, but your goal for attending today's webinar is to learn how to make your activities more local. So if your business is a local service-based business, in most cases, you work with specific areas and you do your online marketing, but your top concern is going to be reaching that local audience. So in today's presentation, Beth is going to take you through the most vital areas that make up your local online presence, from the way that you optimize your website for Google search, to social media, and of course, as you all know, online directories. So we know customer interactions with your business today aren't just your website, they span a whole wide spectrum, and today we're going to help you prioritize and gain some insights. So Beth, our wonderful speaker today, is a customer success manager, as I mentioned, and she's worked with dozens of small local businesses here at Surefire, helping them create a strong online presence, launch websites, and location services. She's our in-house GeoJuice expert, our local marketing app, and she has a lot of experience helping home improvement businesses with their marketing. Her background's in SEO, and the best part about Beth is that she used to be a former tour guide.
Thank you.
So without further ado, Beth Overman.
Excellent. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning, or this afternoon, rather. And I wanted to go ahead and start off with a little bit of introduction. Most of you know who Surefire is, Surefire Social, but I also wanted to mention about what we do. And we are a large company that offers, software as a service. We also are building websites for our clients. We are doing a bunch of marketing materials, and what I wanted to cover on today's webinar is some of kind of our tips and tricks on how we, our strategy, our main strategy for how we're trying to accomplish domination of hyper-local marketing for you and for a bunch of our clients that we have today. So as we go throughout this webinar, if you guys have any questions, you'll notice that there is a little chat window. There's also a questions poll manager here. I have my friend here, John Andrews, is right here with me. He's going to be covering this. We are going to be answering questions here at the end. So please, as we go, please make sure to mention something in the, you can't, audio difficulties, or if you have a question that comes up, just go ahead, write it down, send it to us, and we'll queue them up for the very end. But I want to go ahead and start off asking you guys a question to get you started thinking about what we're going to be covering here. What you should see is I want to ask you the question, how many service areas does your business serve? So when I'm talking about it, I think about Surefire, for example. We're located in Tysons Corner, Virginia, and I would say that we service the entire United States. But if I were a roofer, maybe I would say I service Herndon, Virginia, Reston, Virginia, Sterling, Virginia, and Leesburg, and that would be something around 4 areas. So we're going to give you just a minute to go ahead and select one of the following, whether it's you service one main town, maybe you service 6 to 10, and maybe you're in a small town with a bunch of towns surrounding and you have more than 10. And we want to get to know you guys. We want to understand a little bit more about who we have on the list right now. And I'm already seeing that a lot of you service a lot of business areas. And I can see that, right now you guys are still operating in, we're about 63 of you who voted, 63% of you have voted. So you can go ahead and close the poll. Thank you, John. So that being said, I'm seeing that about 50% of you are saying that you are at 10 areas or more. And so this is important for us to know, because we're trying to multitask within Surefire, trying to target multiple areas for our clients. Like you said, we're not just targeting one area. You guys are the expert in your area, and you know where you want to do business in the future. So hopefully we're going to be able to answer some questions about how you can target multiple areas in one sitting. So let's talk about how does someone find you. And this is kind of a drill down of where, you know, people might start. People are going to start in some kind of search area. And again, we're talking digital marketing here, right? We're going to start, and someone is going to either go to Google. We're going to talk about Google mostly here, but they're also going to Yahoo and Bing. And they're going to just type in some kind of search term. We use the word search query, or we use keywords interchangeably here. They're just going to type something in and hopefully find something related to you and click on you. They're also going to find you based on recommendations from not only, you know, their friends and neighbors, but they're also looking for recommendations from other people online. And that's not just, you know, I'm thinking sometimes about other recommendation sites, but I'm really talking about reviews here. People are going to find you based on your reviews, on review sites such as Yelp and Angies List, and they're going to find you based on how well you're ranking in there. They're also going to be looking for you social media. They're going to be looking for you on maps, on Google Maps, especially Google My Business. They're going to be looking for you in pay-per-click ads, so the little ads that appear in a search results page or a SERP page, and they're going to be seeing you eventually. They're going to get to your website. And so what we want to focus here is how do they find you from the first section. This goes both ways, right? We can start with your website, that's on-page SEO, on-page search engine optimization, and then we can go back to search. How do those two things talk to each other? How do we get your website ranked higher in search? How is someone going to be able to find you? And on today's webinar, we're going to be talking about really 4 major areas in which we can improve your search today. If you guys take the biggest takeaways you can take away from here, I'm going to mention, you know, major tips here. The one thing I'd want you to focus on in each one of these categories, and you could make some major changes that you would be able to implement today. And it's not just, you know, buy Surefire's product. I'm talking about things that you guys can do today to improve your search presence to find you locally. Jen was mentioning that I'm a customer success manager, and I do a lot of things for Surefire here. I'm an account manager for, I have about 12 clients of my own that I am responsible for their website build. I'm responsible for their leads. I'm responsible for getting them ranked in the places where they want to rank. But in addition, I'm also helping other clients within the company to, you know, look better. I'm kind of an analyst. They call, you know, I take a look at a site and I can tell pretty fast about what kinds of things we could do to improve. So I want you to, there's a couple of takeaways from here. And again, if you guys have any questions as we go throughout, please don't hesitate to type them into the chat and we'll go forward. So again, we're going to talk about website and content and how you can get listed on online directories. A lot of them are free, and so you will have opportunities to get ranked in those places, and people will find you. Again, social media, and then how does your mobile phone play into all of this? So these are the 4 main categories here that we're going to be talking about connecting you with your clients. And I would say the biggest question I have is from my clients is they come to me saying, I know what is good SEO. I've read all the blogs. I've read things that tell me what I should be doing. I just don't even know how to get started. So hopefully I'm going to help you guys at least get started with an understanding and wrap your head around this a little bit. So we're going to start with one major you know, anecdote that I'm going to be, or allegory I'm going to be using here is Google as, in talking about website and content, I'm going to be talking about Google as a library. Google is an indexing search engine, meaning that Google is pretty much like our librarian here. They're the ones that are sitting at the front desk saying, these are the books that I think you should read on this subject, and you know, here's a list of things. So I would say Google is both library and librarian, and they are the ones telling us, here's everything that you should be reading here. The internet is our playground here, and Google is the one telling us where we should go. And your website within this library is a book. Google is constantly looking over your website for information to know how they should rank you, how they should index you. And each one of your pages is then treated as a landing pages within that book. So, you know, a lot of times someone from your website, someone visiting your website is going to come through the table of contents. They're going to come in through the front page. And we're going to try and make that page look as appealing as possible to get them to turn the page and look even further, get more information from you. But, you know, somebody's going to take a look at your front page and decide within 3 seconds if this is the right book or not. I mean, we need to include a lot of information fast for our folks that are trying to find you and trying to get them to, you know, either buy your product or learn more information about you. And again, Google is definitely a search engine that is looking for text. Text is probably the most important thing on your website. Google can't read images very well, and that's why you know, all those bot checkers like CAPTCHA, they're using images to try and differentiate a human from a robot. And Google is kind of like the ultimate robot here, that is including information of, you know, to include a lot of text. So we always want to include a lot of text, and you know, not all text is created equally. Some text is better than others, and we are really, we'll talk more about that in a second. I want to drill down a little bit more about what kind of text we're looking for. But I also want to mention that in a particular, back to our library example, so, you know, I'm looking for, somebody is probably, Google is going to look more closely at your book if you update frequently. And we're not talking, biggest question I have from my clients is, you know, they come to Surefire and they say, I don't understand why this competitor of mine is ranking higher than me. I have a prettier website, I have better content, and I look at, you know, the last time the page was updated and it was a year ago. I mean, this is absolutely a ranking factor. And if you're not updating on a frequent basis and a recent basis, I mean, we use the term recency. How recently was your website updated, and also how frequently was your website updated? And then we're also going to, you know, along with those two terms, back to the proximity factor. How many terms are you including that involve your local search area? Okay. And let me, again, we're doing overview stuff right here. We're going to drill down in a second. But then also, not all websites are created equally. What makes a good website visually? And I really want to mention that you could have the prettiest website in the world and it will not convert because the essential items are missing here. And the essential items, again, I talked to my, you know, another you know, account manager coach here that says, he says that if you can't decide within 3 seconds whether this is the right site or not, then that site is going to be ignored. We need to give people as much information, we say above the fold. That's usually right around before you have to start scrolling down into a page. We want to upload as much information as possible to a potential client to give them to make that decision fast. And you can, there's different schools of thought here. You can have the contact form in the upper right-hand corner. You want to make sure you have a phone number above the fold. But if you're waiting until you know, 3/4 of the way down a scrolling page before you even start mentioning what you do, you probably will not see as high of interest in what you are doing than someone who has all that information first. So let's talk about, let's go a little bit further in. We want you to be found locally. So I'm going to make an example of Surefire. We're going to pretend that we're a roofer in Tyson's Corner. And so I'm a roofer in Tyson's Corner. I want to be located locally. So what kind of information should I include immediately? And so first thing is, what do you do? What kind of services do you provide? And usually Surefire, we're usually putting this kind of information in our menu. You're going to say, our homepage in our menu, you'll see at the top, home, about us, roofing, siding, and gutters, we do windows, and maybe other services, then a testimonials contact page. I mean, those are the essential things here, but the big thing here is we're naming out, with the word roofing, we are saying exactly what the services are. So, for example, quality you can trust from North America's largest roofing manufacturer. We want to say that we offer GAF products because we are a roofer in Tyson's Corner. When we're going to want to say that we do roofing, we are a roofing contractor. We do roof replacement. We do re-roofing. We do shingle replacement. All these kinds of things are services that we provide, different ways to say it, going into that keyword idea again. But we are saying, what kinds of things do you provide? If you do not list your list of services above the fold, I guarantee somebody else who does is going to see just a little bit more. We want to reassure everybody who comes to your site that they have found the correct thing that they wanted to click on. Because there's a lot of sites out there. People have to kind of go on a treasure hunt to find information. They're probably, our folks do not have a lot of patience here. So if you can't find that information in 3 seconds, you got to try and fix that. Also, how can they reach you? How they can determine a lot of information from a phone number. And we always list our phone number in the upper right-hand corner. And this is going to be the first clue to them if you are in their search area. So again, back to that local item, right? A lot of clients come to us saying, I have and I'm going to use Northern Virginia as an example again. I have a 703 number, which is an area code for, Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., but I really want to hit, maybe get more into the Washington, D.C. market. So can you get me a phone number that has a 202 area code, which would be Washington, D.C.? We can provide phone numbers. We call them tracking numbers, and we can make them look like a various amount of areas. That way it's just another visual clue that we are in the right area. Also, some companies opt for a toll-free number, an 800 number or an 888 number, to appear as if they are a big firm. A large company would have a toll-free number because you're taking a lot of calls at a time. In addition, we're also looking for your address, and this is something huge. I have a lot of trouble finding a company's address on a website, but Google is looking for this, and so are people visiting your site. Another clue as to whether you offer their services in their area is where you're located. If you're located in Miami, you probably serve the Miami-Dade County. If you are located in, for me, again, McLean, I know, being local, I know that means you service Tyson's Corner. You probably will service Reston and beyond Arlington and all that sort of stuff. So you want to make sure that you have an address displayed on above the fold on your website, so that if you offer a service that is something someone needs to come visit you for, they know that they can find you quickly. And this is all information that will also contribute. Later we'll talk about showing up on Google My Business with Maps. So another thing, when can they call you? We've just been discussing what is called NAP data, name, address, phone, right? But then we also are talking about hours. This is a new trend here that is included in here, and we want to include what are your hours of operation. Somebody does not want to call you at doesn't want to waste the time to call you at 8 o'clock in the morning if you're not open till 9. They want to get a hold of a person. They want to be able to talk to someone, and they want to be able to talk to someone when you're available, not leave a message that might get lost in translation. They want to talk to somebody. So we like to display all this information on above the fold, again, to try and get someone to be able to call. And it just gives you more of that authority to get somebody to call you at that time. Okay. And another thing, good websites and great websites have a contact form above the fold. They have a way for you to contact someone after hours that does not involve leaving a message. Sometimes somebody, I know, if I'm trying to get a dentist appointment, they have contact forms on their website. I can't call because I'm at work. I don't want someone to call me. I just want to fill out a contact form and have someone email me. And so, this is a way to have a contact form on there. Is the ability for you to reach out and explain something without being misunderstood. You're able to write out something that is direct contact with somebody. And these are gold. For Surefire, we put a contact form on all of our sites, and we are also including phone number, name, address, hours, all that sort of information above the fold as best as we can, and including, that's just the information that Google can crawl and what our folks can read as well. So that's all the information. The biggest takeaway here is if you can have your services and all that information included, that's the biggest takeaway on content here. That's what your website should display at the least. You can be talking about other information in your text, but this will make a huge difference in being found for folks trying to find you. But let's go back a little bit. So let's say they found all this information, but how were you found originally? How were you even found before they got to your website? How did they even click on you to know that you are someone that they wanted to talk to or someone they wanted to investigate? And we talk about keywords a lot at Surefire, and the term is kind of tossed around a lot. When somebody says, make sure you have good keywords, and a lot of my clients say, I have no idea what are good keywords. I don't know what you're talking about. So I would say the most common words typed into Google are what people are saying are search terms. These are the search terms. These are what describes keywords to us, and we are really looking for really geo-specific keywords here. So we want you to say something like, I am a roofer in San Francisco versus I am a roofer in California. I want you to think for a second, if you were looking for, I usually use this example with my clients, if I were to say, I'm looking for a restaurant in my area, are you going to type in Virginia restaurants, or are you going to type in Northern Virginia restaurants? For me, I would probably even go a little step further. I happen to be in the town of Sterling, and I'm going to type in Sterling, Virginia restaurants. I want to get very specific about where I am. I know the area that I am trying to target and trying to go to. I'm going to be very specific in my search terms, and so should you. You should be very specific about what kinds of words are included on your site. And you can see here we have a word cloud here that is showing some types of words are more important than others. Some things are going to be more important to somebody visiting your site than other words. And you can use various tools to find out what are your competitors, what are their keywords, what kinds of things are they including on their sites. A lot of times they're bolded and linked, and they look really good, and they're terms that people are using. You can also use Google AdWords to kind of just investigate, do a little bit of research as to what kind of words are people using in your area to describe what you do. But usually when I say be specific versus being general, I get met with a frequently asked question, but what if I serve more areas than the one you just said? So back to my roofer in McLean. If I type in roofing contractor McLean, Virginia, I'm a roofing contractor in McLean, Virginia, people say, but I service more areas. And like you guys just said, you service more than 10 areas. I want you to think about going ahead and making have a page dedicated to each one of those locations that you serve. Each one of those towns, you should have a dedicated page or a dedicated amount of time talking about the services that you offer in that town. Again, Google is smart, Google is a robot, but Google is not perfect yet. They are not the perfect human. And so we're trying to help them along the way. And we have found that it will not limit people to think that you only do service in that area. If I see someone is a roofer in Sterling, I know that they will probably service Reston, but it gives me enough opportunity to call and ask, will you do service in my area, to know at least where they're starting. We are always more specific here than within the copy of our website, rather than being very general here. And some people say, well, what if I just dump a bunch of zip codes on my website? Will that be good enough? Unfortunately, no. Google is smart enough to know that that's a bad tactic. That's called black hat SEO. Just going into your footer, putting a bunch of zip codes in, saying, there we go, I did my SEO for the day, check. That's probably not going to be good enough for you. In fact, that might even get you what we call dinged. That might even contribute to it not, you're not doing well. So next section I want to talk about is online directories. So we've talked about on-page SEO. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on off your website with online directories. And so I'm going to show you here. This is the biggest takeaway from this webinar, guys. I want to say, if the one thing that you go out and do that you haven't already done is I want you to go take your Google account and sign up for Google My Business and create a business page. This Google is, proprietary. They like their own system that they use. They develop Google Maps, right? And they are integrating. Anytime you have a Google page, a Google My Business page, it will integrate in with their Google searches. So this client, for example, you can see has a location little dot here. This is our little map pin on the area, and he got this because, and you can see he has 16 Google reviews. He got here because of all the information that he created on his Google My Business page. And you need to have a Google account. So if you have an @gmail.com, you have a Google account, and this will be easy. It's a free way to get listed online. And reviews here, reviews within a Google My Business page are gold. They are absolutely golden. So let me zoom out a little bit more and show you. Here I am on a Google page here. I'm typing in home remodeling in Susquehanna, New Jersey. And back to my example, you can see the first result here that's showing up underneath these pay-per-click ads, right? We know that these are ads because the little bits of ad in yellow here. The first result here is K&B Home Remodelers. And again, this is because he has a very nice looking Google My Business page. He shows up first. He has 16 Google reviews, which shows up above the guy beneath him who has 9 at Home Depot, happens to be Home Depot. But you can see this is showed up here because he has Susquehanna in his actual, in his address on his Google My Business page. So this is huge. This is the, if you don't even have a website, you can be ranking well here if you have a Google My Business page. You could click here and be taken to the Google Plus page. So the one thing that you go out and do, the one directory that you create if you don't already have it, is to go take care of that. But the reviews here are what's really making this difference. This is why he is ranking very, very well here. But speaking of reviews, let's talk a little bit more. This is a screenshot of a Yelp page, and you have the ability within Yelp, Yelp, and we also talk about Angies List. We talk about many other review sites in which people will find you. We're trying to be as locally minded as possible. We want to include basic information. You basically want to fill all this out. You want to fill every directory that you have out to the max. And you have the ability to add your website, receive messages from potential customers, and people will find you. People will use Yelp as a way to search for businesses in their area. You probably know people will use Angies List as a way to find services in their area. And we've heard of Home Advisor. People will use House. People will use Yellow Pages. They'll use Yellowbot, City Search, Manta, Merchant Circle. There's any number of online directories that you can be listed. And there are some services out there that help you get listed on multiple ones, but we're going for consistency. If you've ever moved, you might have a few directories out there that list the wrong information, the incorrect address, and that is going to that's a huge aspect of what we fix immediately once a client comes to us. Is we say we are going to fix the major directories for you and at least get a consistent front to show Google that you are authoritative and you have the same information across multiple directories. All right. So Surefire, I want to just small plug. We're going to give you another way to check this at the end here. This link here, you'll see surefiresocial.com, dominate SureScan. You have the ability to actually check how you are listed, how your business is listed within major directories. And so we're gonna show this link again at the end here, but you have the opportunity to visit our scanner and just see how are you listed, how do you look, how consistent are you. Do you have the incorrect address listed across 5? Are you not represented at all on Yahoo? And this can give you some insight, some actionable items that you can take. And again, another takeaway here is we want to be consistent as much as possible to show Google that you are who you say you are and you are located at this address that you say you are. So next section, I'm going to talk a little bit about social media, and I've already begun to hit on it. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about Facebook first. At the absolute minimum, if you guys can, again, Google my business page and then go out and create a Facebook page next. Facebook is, if I asked you guys, I'm not going to poll you again for this, but if I asked you if you thought that Facebook was going to become more important in the next year or less important, I'm hoping you'd probably say it's going to become more important. The average age has increased for using Facebook, and that is exactly for a lot of, we deal with a lot of contractors, but that's exactly where a lot of our folks are looking for information. They are using Facebook search to search for companies in their area because people can leave and visit and leave reviews, and they can find more information about their company. People who don't have a website, this is exactly where you'd want to be. People who do have a website, you can get a page up on here, and you should absolutely have it linked on your website to say, this is our Facebook page, and this is kind of more, if your Facebook is this static book that describes more information about your company, Facebook is what you were doing yesterday, right? This is the place where you can update and say what you guys are doing now. Talk about specials. People can like and follow you and understand what you're doing, and this gives you another opportunity to get more of what you do out there for local folks. Again, back to that local aspect, people are looking for you in Facebook already, so you might as well have a good face to show them. And just to give you a little bit more drill down, they can leave reviews for you here and talk about what's going on, and you also have the ability to respond to these reviews. And people consider these reviews very authoritative because you can't be anonymous. You can't just make up an account. Facebook has a lot of things in place that you have to display who you are, and you can a company actually can't delete these reviews, but you can respond to them to say thank you and talk more about that. So next, Facebook also offers a little bit more information about targeting based on geography. So when you're creating your business page for Facebook, you have the ability to target in a number of ways. You can target based on what address you're focusing on or the venue. Maybe you can don't include this information here, or everyone in this location include, I want you to show my page to all of these folks in the area. And you can even, I think of some folks that you can also do people that are even traveling to that area. They will say where they've checked in, and your particular page will show up on the side as an ad. So you have lots of information that you can display out there as well. Talking about other places, you also have Pinterest. Pinterest is a rapidly growing place for people to include pictures of what they're doing on a given time. I would say that Facebook is more of a necessity than Pinterest, but it's definitely something good to have, especially if you have a visually based service. Interior designers, we have a lot of office managers and places, roofers even are getting great, landscapers are getting great pictures and putting them up on Pinterest. And now you can add pins to them. You can say where the picture was taken, a geographic pin to say, hey, check out the roofing jobs that have been done in your area. And so when you're writing up a pin, you can edit where exactly it happened, and it helps to develop, again, this service area of where things are happening. They're looking for restaurants in your area, hopefully, and you can add a pin of a great picture of your restaurant to show up on there. So let's go ahead and do another poll here. I'm switching gears a little bit. So we're still talking about social stuff here, but I want to talk a little bit about what are your, how often would you say you guys are using your mobile device for business? So I'm not just talking about using, just using your phone, that's in your pocket. A lot of folks are using all your phones for making phone calls to customers, maybe using GPS to find a customer, find their location. But maybe you're also using it to check in on social media. Maybe you are also using phone calls, GPS, social media. We want to get a little sense for how often you are using your mobile phone within a business. Excellent. Perfect. So I see a lot of you, thank you so much for voting. I see a lot of you guys are already voting in, and it looks like there is a small percentage of you that's using just for phone calls and GPS. But a lot of you are using it for everything. You're using it to, 45% of you are using it for phone calls, for GPS, for social media, and for reviews. So I talked to all three groups here and say, if you had other options on your phone, do you think you would use them? Would you use your phone? Again, is it going to become increasingly important, or is it going to become less important for you guys as we go into the future? And I would say, again, I'm pretty sure you're going to say it's going to become increasingly important here for you. And so we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about mobile, more from the client side, so the end customer view. Knowing that you guys use your phone a lot for many things, we also have to assume that people that are trying to find you are also using your phones at an increasing rate. And so I look at some trends that are happening right now. We have the ability for, I'm a user, a homeowner that wants to find a restaurant in my area, and so I'm able to check in, and there are some location-based notifications that are trending right now that you have the ability to be alerted if there's a sale happening in your area. You also can know if there's a restaurant that is giving away something free in your area. You have the ability to find a restaurant or other based services. You can see something that's trending that we talked about yesterday is that what's trending right now is people typing in roofers near me, right? They're typing in near me into Google to say, I want you to give me, I'm turning on my GPS, tell me exactly what's nearby. That way I know, how to plan my day accordingly. And so there's a couple of sites that are offering these kind of services. I think of Yelp immediately. I mean, Yelp taps right into my GPS, says, hey, you're here, here's restaurants within walking distance. But, for some of our contractors, this is definitely the trends here happening for clients. So wouldn't it be great to be showing up in these kinds of places that, somebody's looking for something in your area, you're able to pop up and be in front of more people at a given time. And this is definitely a trend that you're going to want to take with you to be talking about going into the future. But let's also talk about your website and how you as a business are trying to be, make yourselves available for your customers to find you. And so I'm going to ask you guys, how are your websites mobile friendly? Meaning, remember that your website is, people are using your phones increasingly. You use your phones a lot. We find that an increasingly amount of traffic is coming straight from people's cell phones. We can determine whether traffic is coming from a desktop or if it's coming from a mobile phone. And Google even recognizes that this was a huge trend that started to happen. And they made it actually they made it part of their algorithm that somebody who is mobile friendly versus someone who is not is going to rank higher than someone who's not mobile friendly. Meaning, is your website easy to navigate on a small cell phone? Are you able to find a phone number easily? Are, the menu items, is the text the right size? Does, images, pictures, does menu items appear correctly? Do images stack correctly? Around April 21st, they changed how their algorithm worked, and we found that our sites that, Surefire makes sure that all of our sites are not only mobile friendly, we're working on getting them mobile responsive, meaning that they look good on any device. So not just looking good on a desktop or a laptop, but also looking good on a tablet or a cell phone. And so, again, guys, as we're going forward, I want you, we're about to jump into some very specific terms here. So if you have any questions, I really want to remind you guys to in our chat window or ask us a question so that we have the ability to answer your question here at the end. So I'm going to throw some terms out here for you, and I want you to just think about them for a second. While you're in there, making your website mobile friendly, and if that means changing the text, changing how things stack, changing how big your text is and how images appear on your site. Other things that you're going to want to think about including are, back to my library example, you're going to want to include microdata and schema and geo-targeted content. So I'm going to talk about my library again. Google is our librarian, the internet is the library, your website is the book. Microdata is kind of like the Dewey Decimal Code that's on the end of the spine of your website. We are saying, hey, librarian, this is exactly the kind of information of where we should be located within the huge library of the internet. I am a roofing contractor. Please mark me as a roofing contractor and show me to people that are looking for a roofing contractor. We're also trying to include schema, which is kind of a different type of microdata. We're trying to say I'm a local business. This is exactly my phone number. This is exactly my exact street address, and all this information is being included in an indexing, as Google starts indexing your site. And again, we want to talk more about you should also include geo-targeted content, location-specific and tagged content to people. It's good that you included a photo, but did you say where that photo was taken? Did you say who took it? Did you say what company you represent, or even what you do? Great that you have reviews listed on your site, but did you explain, who sent that review? Did you explain what the timestamp was? Where did it come from? What are the coordinates? How authoritative are these reviews that we're talking about? And just to give you a little bit of a plug here, I want to say that these things you can do manually. You have the choice of hiring someone for, a day or so to include all these items on your site. You could ask them, it probably costs you about $100 per hour, and say, I need to include schema, microdata, all this information on my site, include some geo-targeted information for me. And we've had people who do that. It's difficult, and it's a pain, and we have a lot of folks online I know that it's difficult taking care of multiple sites at a time, trying to leverage having multiple sites, multiple businesses with different types of needs. So small plug here, I want to talk about GeoJuice, which is Surefire's marketing app on the go. As Jen mentioned, I am, kind of the expert here at Surefire, so I always get really excited when I see that a client of ours has decided to include GeoJuice as part of their package, because I know, as being responsible for their leads, I know that they're going to do a lot better than some of my clients that might not have included GeoJuice as part of their package. Ideally, the idea is that you're able to take a photo of a job that you're doing, include a brief text about what's going on, what problem did you just solve. So you're checking in with location and keywords, and you're able to also ask for reviews from a client, and then you are able to do this all from your phone. Again, you guys mentioned you are all using your phone out in the field, and you're using it for more things. This accomplishes both check-ins on that geo-based content. This is including schema and microdata on your site, so that Dewey Decimal Code I mentioned, this is hitting that option. And we're also making sure to include reviews from clients. And then we also are able to have this share to Facebook and Twitter. We are able to hit a lot of things here. We developed GeoJuice as a way to accomplish all of these things kind of in one fell swoop, and making it very easy for our clients to be able to accomplish all these things on the go. So let me talk about, I want you to ask yourselves the question real fast for me. Maybe you don't actually have a physical location, or you do have a physical location but need a way to target others outside your service areas. GeoJuice might be the answer for you here. Here's an example of what it's going to look like once it's installed on your site. You get an interactable Google map that populates with all the dots on here are actually jobs that have been performed, and you're able to go out into the field, take a photo, and that photo is automatically streamed to your site. You can say, you can see James Hardy fiber cement siding, Beechworth window estimate in progress. So they're just doing a check-in, talking about an estimate. It doesn't have to be a job. It can be about anything that you got, any type of event that is worthy of talking about those keywords that we talked about. You can get that on here. And what's nice is you notice they didn't mention anything about where they're located. Underneath there it says near Pickering Drive in Roseland, New Jersey. And that's important. It's already tapping into your phone's GPS. So this is a way to get geo-targeted information with a photo that is appealing to both customers and the search engines. And we get all this information up there. It appeals to that recency, frequency, and proximity section we talked about earlier. So again, I'm very excited about GeoJuice. I'm sure you guys can hear it. I love talking about it. I think it's a fantastic product, and we'd love to hear more from you if that's something that you would like to investigate further with us. But all these things, all of these things. Just a little bit of a review here. If you have at least taken a look at the content on your website, make sure that the information you're trying to convey is found within 3 seconds of someone visiting your site. And make sure that you are also listed socially. How do you look on social media? How are you found on online directories? Do you have all your consistent information on there? And then what kinds of ways are you being found from people locally on their cell phones? How do you appear to somebody in search when they visit your website? And if you can, remember to keep all of those things, in mind, you're going to see a major difference in how your websites are found by people that are trying to find you. Okay, so let's go ahead and final little bit of a poll again for you. Do you know what to do now? Do you feel more confident? How successful was I? If you can give me a little feedback here and tell me how do you feel about what's going on here? And I really appreciate. I'm seeing an overwhelming yes. I know what to do here. We want you guys to feel empowered here, and we want you to be able to take all this information with you to either, trying to find out what to do next. That would be my biggest goal for my clients is, I kind of know what to do, but I think I want to go get started now, and they know how to take care of that. So excellent. I see it. We're kind of on a little bit more, and so let's go ahead. Oh dear, that's funny. So do you want to continue the conversation? So another poll. Is this something that maybe you want to talk more about? We're about to run into some questions that have been asked throughout. Again, if you have any questions that are lingering, let's talk a little bit more about it. But then also, let's if any of these items are something that you guys would like to continue the conversation, we'll have lots of contact information for you at the end, and we can talk about trying to get these things implemented on your site. So excellent. It looks like I got a little bit of a sure, so I think we'll go ahead and continue answer some questions real fast. So John, can you pass me a question real fast? One question that came up.
All right, so one of the questions that came in was, so what should I do if we want to rank in different areas?
Excellent question. So, again, if somebody is ranking, let's say you're doing, thank you, and we have our information right here that you guys can take as you want. You have that SureScan to look for how are you listed on multiple directories, and then also talking a little bit more specifically about GeoJuice. But to answer your question, what can you do to rank well in different service areas? I'm going to go back to that keyword. I'm going to say you should have a page dedicated to the services that you do in that area. So if you are a roofer in Tyson's Corner, I would want to have a page dedicated saying something like roofing Tyson's Corner, then another page roofing Sterling, Virginia, then another page dedicated roofing, re-roofing, roofing contractor in Reston, Virginia. And again, those are probably, that's what Surefire would do, and that's what we would do for a lot of the marketing strategy, is that we would make a whole page with about 350 words dedicated copy to that service area and that service. And that, we're talking things like, if you're looking for a roofing contractor in Sterling, Virginia, make sure that you take a look at insert company here. And you would just go on to say exactly what kind of services you offer, what kind of manufacturer warranties do you offer, what kinds of, how your estimate process works, and maybe the additional services that you offer in that area. And for further information, always have a call to action at the bottom saying, give us a call today for a free estimate or get a quote now. And so I would just focus on having different landing pages, different pages focusing on each of the services in the areas that you want to dominate.
Thank you, Beth.
Sure.
So another question that just came in from Brenda is, if I just had someone local redo my website and it's hosted by them, can I still incorporate GeoJuice?
So great question. The quick answer is yes. We have quite a few clients that fall into that category. As you know, there are a few caveats. We really love to work with sites that are WordPress. But if you are not WordPress, we have other sites, people that are .NET framework. We have other things. So the first question would be is, how is your website? What type of website do you have? What is the CMS or the background mode of what your website is? And we work with other marketing companies who, we say to them, we're not trying to steal your client, we're just trying to install something that is going to both help you and the client, the marketing company and the client here. GeoJuice is very powerful. I had a conversation with a marketing company recently who said, I was helping him, we were working together to install it on his site because the client had bought it, and he said, this is very powerful. Do you mind if I set this up as a referral? Can I refer this I want to get this on my other client sites. So we've had once people understand the value of what GeoJuice does, including all of that microdata and that really tasty, hyper-local information on a site, we've not had a lot of issues. And we have some clients that just have GeoJuice with us. So it is a very easy app to install, and it's it works really, really well with the multitude of websites. So great question.
Okay, so I have two more questions here, but maybe you can answer them, both and maybe into one answer. So the first one is, where else are local keywords tracked besides your website?
Okay.
But the other question is, what do I do to set up a Google My Business page? So maybe you can kind of merge those two together.
So I would say they are different questions. So where else should I be focusing on keywords other than my website? I would be focusing on your directories, your online directories, including in that, when they ask you tell me about your business, what's your business information, I would make sure to include keywords there. I would include all of that is crawlable to Google, and Google is paying attention to all that information. I would also be paying attention wherever you talk about your website, maybe it's on your social media. I would also be including keywords in posts that you do there, in blog posts that you write if you have a blog. On every time you talk about your website or you talk about your business, I would be including there. And then as far as the first steps on getting your Google My Business page started, I would, if you have a Google account, the first step is to sign up for one if you don't have one already. And they're free to do. You just type in, make a free Google account. And then you sign up for Google Plus, which you'll see in the upper right-hand corner. You have the ability to optimize a Google Plus account. You'll click on your name. You'll see your name, and you click on it, and you'll be able to. It'll say, "Do you want to have a Google Plus account?" You want to say yes. And then you go through the object of making a Google Plus account. It'll feel very much like making a Facebook profile. And Google Plus can be utilized that way. You can use Google Plus for sharing. You can invite your friends and all that information. But the important part here is once you sign up for a Google account, you have a list of additional options that you can do. And you would go to the left-hand corner, you see it says Home, and you click on that. You're able to click on Pages. That's where you'd be able to discuss a little bit more about creating a Google My Business page. One thing I'd want you to do, you might not realize that your page might already have been created without you creating it. Google sometimes will know that a business is located in that area. So what I would do is I would go to Google and search your business and see if you show up on the map. See if your business is showing up as already having a Google Plus page. In that case, it's a lot easier. If you find that it's already created, you should be able to claim it. And you should see an option to claim this business profile for your own, and that way you have active control over it. And so in both cases, we'd love to talk to you more about that. We can help set it up. I think we might have a blog post on it, I'm not sure, but we could probably set one up, how to get your Google My Business page started.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. I want to say thank you to Beth for this really excellent presentation we had today, and thank you, John, for all the questions. Thank you all for attending today's presentation. We're going to be sharing the webinar via email to all the attendees and everyone who couldn't make it today. And stay tuned. We'll be sending out more information on future webinars.